As it's well known by all of you that we have started chapter number 11, Marketing Management, and I've given 2 classes of this, and today it's the third one, and we have discussed a few points in that. Well, in the previous class, we have started discussing regarding elements of marketing mix, okay? And there are 4 elements of the marketing mix. First is your product, then price. This third one, place and physical distribution, that has been deleted from your syllabus. And the last one is your promotion. So we were proceeding with product. We have started discussing, and the product mix, what this product is containing. There was the branding we have discussed, and it was packaging. This we have discussed in the previous class. Okay. So today we are going to start the next one, which is a part of the product mix. After branding and this was packaging, it is your label. Well, student, when I take the word label, so what do you understand? What comes in your mind? Label means किसी चीज को label करना, उसको लगाना. Okay. So the product is there, fine, and branded has been decided. Which brand's product is this, and we have decided the packaging also. Very nicely you have packed the item. You might have noticed, students, when you have a packed product, so certain things are written, certain informations have been given on that product, and some stickers are also sticked. Okay, so the different companies, different products are carrying a different kind of things and different kind of information, and there are the variations in carrying the information even. Okay, so depends upon the company and brand. Okay? So labeling means putting identification marks on the package. Label is the carrier of information. It provides information like, see, what is written on the product, what is written on that packaging. Name of the company you will find, name of the product you will find, ingredients, okay, and what is its MRP, what is manufacturing date, what is expiry date, okay, and do's and don'ts, how to use it, and if these are the eatables, sometimes they provide the recipe on that. So many information such as contained. Okay, so these all things are a part of your labeling. So it's telling the information which it is containing, like name of the product, name of manufacturer, contents of the product, expiry and manufacturing date, general instructions for use, weight, price, so and so. Now labels are attached on the product to provide some information to the customers. So product labels can be a simple tag form in the case of the local products like rice, wheat, so and so. So if you have a local product, a simple tag can be there, and if it is branded item and all, so elaborated labels can be there and used by the reputed companies who are enjoying very nice goodwill. So they can use some different methods, okay, and some elaborated form they use. The local items which is available, simply they mention the name and price, weight and all. But these reputed companies, they explain each and everything. And students, from the legal point of view also, that's very important. Sometimes the things are, we have to follow the law, and law says that you have to explain certain other things also, that we are going to discuss in detail very soon. So it's telling apart form details of product. Some statutory warnings which are essential for some products must be printed on the label. For example, if there is a tobacco or liquor is there, so that is compulsory. That's a statutory warning that you have to mention that consumption of these products is introduced to that. Okay, so they have to mention. This is also part of the label. So student, our next topic is, this was the information, or you can say the general introduction of the label. Now functions of the label means labeling जब आप करते हैं तो what function it fulfills, ये क्या काम करता है, and you can say it features also. Features means specialties, it is containing these features, right? So here labels perform following functions or features, both the things are same. So you should be very clear with the topic. If we put up some questions, so you should be clear what answer you have to give on this question. So the first, it is telling describe the product and specify its content. Students, what is the topic we have started discussing? It's telling which function is performed by the label. Label क्या काम करता है, क्या function करता है, या इसकी specialities क्या है. So the first one is describe product. The label describes the product properly and specify its contents, isn't it? That's very very clear. जो label है वो आपके product की information देता है, the complete information it is giving and what it is containing. All these things are told by the labels. So the thing is manufacturer can't explain each and everything to all the customers. So many things are there in the product, what the ingredients are there, when this has been manufactured, expiry date, so and so. So if every customer start asking this thing, so that will be very difficult for the shopkeeper to attend such customers, okay. So everything is written, so this is performing the work of, informative work it is performing, and customers they can go through that and they can come to know about the product, okay. So describe the product properly and its contents. Next function which is performed by the label is identify the product. Well, easily you can identify the product. If it is lying somewhere and you know the label is there, in fact the first thing your packaging works, and after packaging the labels are like that, easily you can identify. So the label helps the customers to identify the product from the various types available. For example, we can easily identify a Cadbury chocolate from the various chocolates kept in the shelf of a shop by the color of its label. Okay, its its color is, all these chocolates are carrying distinct colors, so easily you can identify. Next one is help in grading. Your label contains the information regarding the grading also, either this is of the first grade, second grade or what, because everything, all the details are given over there. And here they have taken an example of the tea. With the help of label, products can be graded in different categories like Brook Bond, red label tea, and that is yellow label and green label tea. So it is describing regarding the product. Next one is your promote sale. Promote sale means this labeling itself is advertising, the information which we want, so that we can come to through label. Attractive and colorful labels excite customers and induce him to buy the product. Especially in consumer goods, attractive labels increase sales volume. You might have noticed sometimes children go to the market and they find very nice colors, their wrapping, their packaging plus labeling is very attractive. So these things do the work of promotion itself, okay. Next we have providing information required by law, legal requirement. This point recently we have discussed regarding the statutory body. Well, the label containing all the information, and this is provided by the law that you have to provide. If your product is like that, so you have to give all the information, okay. So on some products, giving a statutory warning is also a legal compulsion, and these legal requirements are fulfilled through these labels. So students, these were the functions, or you can say the features of labeling. Now we have completed our first element of marketing mix, that is product. Now we will talk about price, how the prices are decided and all. Well students, price is quite important, and it's playing vital role in the success of any product or any business. It's very technical matter to decide the price. It should be accurate, it must be accurate, I must say. If you decide a little bit more price and you don't take care of your rivals, so quite possible your customers divert to your rivals, your competitors, okay. And if you decide the price a little bit less, so they might think that your product is inferior and maybe it is something missing. So it should be it's of the great importance. So price is the value which a buyer passes on to the seller in lieu of the product or services, right students? It's a price which is given by the buyer to the seller in lieu of the product or services. आपको product या service मिलता है तो आपका जो buyer है वो seller को product amount pay करेगा. And price is the crucial element of marketing mix because customer is very sensitive to this element. Little variation in the price may shift your customer to competitors' product. For example, if the price of the Pepsi is 8 and you have decided 8.5, so quite possible that your customers divert to the Coke because that price is still it will be. So one has to be very careful. Well, price may be called the different names. For example, price for education can be the tuition fee, price for using road, it is toll tax fee which we generally pay, and if it is for the salary, for the job, then we call it a salary, and for using certain properties and all, then it is called rent. Okay, so the price is having the different name, and that depends upon its uses. Well, assigning a monetary value to a product or service or fixing the price of a product or service is not an easy job, as we have already talked. Okay, so various factors effects on that, and we have to take care of all these factors while deciding the prices. So what are the factors which we have to keep in our mind while fixing the prices of any commodity or service? The first one is pricing objectives. Okay, what is the objective of a firm is very important factor which helps in deciding the price. See, the different firm can have the different objectives in the mind. They can have the different perspective. Somebody's objective is profit maximization, as we have studied in the previous ones. And someone wants the maximum profit but while serving the society. Someone wants maximum profit but while satisfying the customers. Okay, so the different objectives can be there in mind. So apart from profit maximization, the pricing objectives of a firm may include what? Obtaining market share leadership. Of course, everyone wants profit. Profit maximization is one thing, but these manufacturer or the businessman, they can have certain other points in the mind. So what could that be? The first one, it's telling that obtaining market share leadership. Some people, they have the tendency to lead in the market. They have a leadership quality. They want that I should be at number one everywhere. Okay, so when they are selling their products, so they want that maximum product of their company should be available in the market. I mean, more and more customers should be there. So they have to charge reasonable. Okay, they should decide the price very carefully. If they decide higher prices, so the customers can divert to any other product. Okay, and if they decide reasonable prices, so more and more customers will be attracted. So number of people will be there to purchase their product, so they will lead in the market. So we have to take care. Another objective of someone can be surviving in a competitive market. To survive in a competitive market, the firm have to reduce their price by offering discount. If you are in such a situation where there is a lot of competition and you have to survive, you are in a condition of surviving, then sometimes you have to provide the discount also, as the more customers should come to you and you can sell out your product. Third one, it is telling that attaining product quality leadership. In this case, generally high prices are charged to cover the high cost of research and development. It's telling attaining product quality leadership. Quality product you are providing, and for this you have done the market survey, also research you have done, and on all these things you have spent a lot of amount that you will be covering from your sale price. So in these kind of situation, you are charging a little bit higher. Okay, so that depends if what is your aim and objective. So while fixing the prices, you keep these aims and objectives in the mind. Okay, next, another factor which you keep in your mind while deciding these prices is your product cost. In fact, what is its cost? Cost of production kya hai? Then you decide the thing. And we have certain fixed cost and variable cost. Okay, fixed cost, either you produce something or you don't produce, these costs you have to pay. But ultimately, these all costs we will be recovering from the sale price. Okay, and variable cost is that which you charge directly on the production. As many numbers of items you are producing, that will be spread over there. Okay? So the price is fixed after calculating the total cost. In case of higher competition and to capture the big share, if firm has to fix low prices, then at least price must cover variable cost, and fixed cost can be ignored for some time but not for a long time of the period, because in the long run you have to earn profit. To an extent you can ignore the fixed cost, at least my variable cost cost is covered, right? But in the long run you have to earn profit, so your fixed and variable cost must be charged. This must be recovered from your sale price. Okay, so you will keep the cost in your mind कि आपको कितनी cost पड़ी है, उसके according आप अपना sale price decide करते हैं. Another element which you keep in your mind, that's extent of competition in the market. Well, if the market is not competitive at all, there is no competition in the market, so you can decide the price accordingly. In the simple way I tell you, the product which you are manufacturing, nobody else is manufacturing. Okay, you have a monopoly, so you can decide the price whatever you want and people will purchase because they don't have any option. But if there is a competition in the market, then you have to keep all the aspects in your mind, right? If you decide more prices, so the customers can divert somewhere else, so all these factors you will be keeping in mind and you have to be very careful. And in the competitive market, you can't fix more prices, okay? So be careful. Next factor, while deciding the sale price, while deciding the price, we have to keep in our mind, that's customers' demand and utility. Well, if your item is in demand, so you can charge a little bit more because that's demanded by the people and the customers like that item. But if your item is not in demand, the demand is less, in that situation you can't charge more. Then you have to keep the prices reasonable or less price you have to charge. So I'm reading it for you. The last but not the least factor which is kept in mind while fixing the price is the demand of product or service. When demand of the product is inelastic, or you can say no or very less substitutes are available, then company can fix up high prices. Okay, means substitutes are not available. The product which you are manufacturing, no other substitute is there, monopoly is there, as we have already discussed, so higher prices can be decided. All right, and on the other hand, if product is highly demanded, then price can be high, but at the time of low demand, price has to be brought down. Clear? Well, next one is your government and legal regulations. Students, certain items are there where government has to interfere, the essential items, okay, which are useful for the common man. So government has to interfere, government has to decide the maximum price, means nobody can exceed this one. Okay, so in that situation you are not free to decide. To protect the interest of general public, the government has all the rights to control the prices of various products and services by including the product in the category of essential commodities. The common commodities in essential commodities are drugs, some food items, LPGs and all, because this is required by each and every one. So with government intervention, there can be a check on the monopolistic, as they can't charge unfairly high prices for these essential commodities. I hope it is clear. So if the item comes in the category of essential commodity, then government's intervention is there, government interferes, you can't decide the prices according to your own. You have to check the maximum price which has been decided by the government, you can't exceed that. And the last one is here, marketing methods used. That depends which method of the marketing has been used. If you have, the costlier method you have used, so the cost increases and we have to keep the price high. If you are promoting your items through the sales, advertisement and all, so that will be in the demand, of course, because of the advertisement, and as you have spent more money on the advertisement, so that amount you will be covering from the cost, that you will be charging. So it's telling the price of the product also gets affected by various techniques of methods of marketing used to promote the product. If company is using intensive advertisement to promote the sale of product, then it will charge high prices, and other marketing methods which affect price of a product are type of packing, distribution system, salesmen, employed customer support services, etc. Means how, if you have spent more on the advertisement and all and the sales promotion, so you'll be charging more. If you did not spend, or you have spent less, so you'll be charging less. So this way all these items affect on fixing the prices of any product. So students, here we have completed our second one, There were no other parts fixing the prices. When the third comes, place and physical distribution. I tell you students, this has been eliminated from your syllabus by the CBSE. Okay. Channels of distribution, I'll just give you a brief idea. Channel of distribution, the producer is producing and at last the final destination is the customer. So how it reaches from producer to the customer. So what is the chain between? Chain of distribution, okay, or you can say you know, the physical distribution, what steps, which steps are there. So who are a part of this chain of distribution? The first manufacturer comes, then your distributors, or we call them wholesaler, then comes the retailer. Sometimes there can be more than one retailer, okay. The small shopkeepers, the retailer which are in front of your house, they may buy from the another retailers, okay, and then final consumer comes. So you can have a reading of this for a sake of knowledge. Next topic, after this place and physical distribution, but before promotion, okay, this is your decision in physical distribution, or you can say the components of physical distribution. Well, physically your goods are ready, production you have done, the goods are ready to be disposed of, not disposed of, to distribute to the customer, okay. Now which activities will be involved in that? Decision in physical distribution. Now you have your product is ready, you are going to distribute that. So what points you will be keeping in your mind, okay? What decisions you will be taking? क्या-क्या चीजें आपको ध्यान में रखनी है? So there are four major activities involved in physical distribution of goods. There are the four major decisions which management has to take while providing physical distribution services. The first one is your order processing. Order processing means the time and steps involved between taking order from customer and delivery of the goods as per the order. Generally, the order processing involves steps like order placement to salesman, order transmission by salesman to company, credit chart of the customers by company, inventory and production schedule, so and so. So student, there is a direct effect, there is a direct relationship between the time taken in order processing and satisfaction of the customer. Order processing means as you get the order from your customers, so how much time do you take to proceed that, how much time you take to give them. So it is true, and it's always true that if you take less time, your customers will be more satisfied, and if you are taking more time, so somewhere dissatisfaction will be there. Let's take an example. You have placed an order online, okay, and the item which you have purchased, that will be delivered to you within 3 days or within 2 days. Sometimes this happens, so you will be quite happy that yesterday I have placed an order and tomorrow I'm getting that, okay. But if any site is taking more time, you have placed an order and the delivery will be given after 1 week, so where you will be satisfied? Of course, where we get the item timely, where the processing time on the order is less, there customers feel satisfaction, right? Where the delivery is done timely, order processing time is less, the customers are more satisfied, rather where the more time has been consumed, okay. So this was your order processing. This we take care. Physical distribution, decisions in physical distribution, you are deciding that how much time it is going to take while processing the order. Second one, you think about the transportation, okay. Transportation means physical movement of goods from place to place of production to the place where we have to give to the shopkeepers, or it is required. Transportation adds value to the goods by moving them to place where these are required. For example, tea plantations, where the tea plantation is done, it is not consumed then and there. This has been consumed throughout the country, throughout the world. So where the production is there, tea plantations are there, we supply this material to rest of the places. So that is true that the transportation cost will be included in the cost when you decide that. So where the production is done, where the plantation is there the cost of tea will be less, and in rest of the part of the country or in the world's part, so there will be more prices because the transportation cost has been included in that. Okay, so there are various means of transportation available like rail, road, air, pipeline, water transport, etc. Each mode has its own advantage and disadvantage, and which mode of the transportation we are choosing, that depends upon the nature of product also. These modes are evaluated and compared on the basis of its speed, frequency, flexibility, cost, availability, etc. And the best suited mode of selected by the company, right students? So, everything, all these modes of the transportation are having their own pros and cons. What are the benefits and drawback? So company will be deciding after discussing on all the aspects. Fine. So this was the transportation where this helps. Next one is warehousing. Decision in physical distribution. Warehousing, how and what role it is playing. Whatever is produced is not sold immediately. Okay, and we have to keep it safely by the time we sell it out. Okay, for this we have to either we manufacture our own warehouse, or sometime we hire it, or we take it on the rent, or we take the public warehouse we are using, which is of the government. Okay, so therefore every company needs to store the finished goods until these are sold in the market. Storage of goods is necessary because some goods like crops are seasonal in production but are demanded throughout the year. For this purpose also we have to store the thing. And not only these food grains, certain other things are there which are produced throughout the year, but these are used in a particular season like air conditioner, okay, and woolen garments. Fine, so we need to store all these things properly. We need the warehouses for their best care. So some goods are produced throughout the year, so and so. Now maintaining stock in warehousing involves cost. Whether company has its own warehouses or use the hired one. So firm must compare the cost involved in using warehouses and benefits which company gets and try to create a balance between both, right students? So company has to take care which item is this, do we require the services of the warehouses, we have to store in the warehouses, and how much cost we are paying and how much benefits we are paying. So company will be analyzing everything regarding its cost. Next one is inventory. Inventory refers to maintaining the stock of goods. The inventory needs to be maintained so that goods can be supplied whenever demanded. Well, as we know that we have the warehouses and all, but the shopkeepers, they are also maintaining the inventory at their level. Sometimes the things, always they are not in demand, but sometimes some more demand can also be created. So they have to maintain the stock as they can fulfill the demands. Okay. But inventory also involves cost. These include cost of capital blocked in and risk of price fluctuation. The firm must weigh the benefits of inventory and the cost involved, and accordingly the optimum level of inventory should be maintained. It's telling that we maintain the inventory, so it also needs certain cost because you are blocking the capital. I need 20 items at a time available at my shop. So these 20 items, you have blocked the cost for this. Means you have paid the money from where you have purchased or your wholesaler, and still you did not sell it in the market. You didn't realize money on that. So your capital has been blocked on this. Okay. Another thing, its benefit and cost. This is, this needs a space also which you have to hire, or that is your own, or you have to pay for this. So how much does the inventory's cost is there? Inventory maintain करने की क्या cost है and क्या benefit है? So these points also you should keep in your mind. So students, these were the decisions in physical distribution, or you can say the components of physical distribution. You are distributing the goods. So these are the steps which we have to care, which we have to keep in our mind. Like order processing में कितना time है, transportation का क्या method है, क्या benefits है नहीं है, warehousing में क्या cost है, and inventory. All right. Now factors which help in determining level of inventory. Factors which help in determining level of inventory. आपको level inventory यानी stock का क्या level रखना है. This has been decided by a certain factors are affecting on that. These are influencing you what to do. So first one is firm's policy on customer service. कस्टमर्स को किस तरह की आप सर्विस देते हैं. इफ फर्म हैज अ पॉलिसी ऑफ ऑफरिंग हाई level customer service, then they keep large stock so that there is no delay in supply of goods. Well, your policy is very clear and you satisfy your customers. Firm's policy on customer services, you prefer the best services to your customer, so you have to keep your stock ready, otherwise your reputation may get down. Customers have come, you don't have the goods, so that's not good. So you have to keep the inventory level proper. Next one is next factor, degree of accuracy of sales forecast. If sale forecast is done accurately, then the inventory is maintained at minimum level. Forecasting means thinking or deciding something about future. You have estimated something about future, that is forecasting. पूर्वानुमान लगाना. If your forecasting is accurate or near to accurate, so less inventory you have to keep, means you will keep the item which you are supposed to sell, right? So no wastage will be there, no extra capital will be blocked in this. Next one is this is responsiveness of distribution system. If to meet additional demand, producer requires more time, then high level of inventory is maintained. But if an additional demand can be met in less time, then need for inventory will also low. Students, additional demand, if your customers are coming and asking, so if you take more time, more time you are taking, so the customers may go back. In that situation you have to maintain your inventory level high. Stock आपको ज़्यादा रखना होगा, because you can't provide the goods to your customers within no time. Okay, it takes a lot of time. Your customers may go empty handed, so you have to keep more stock with you. And if extended demand is there and you can provide or you can fulfill the extended demand within no time, then you don't have to keep higher inventory. बहुत ज़्यादा stock रखने की आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है. So these factors we have to keep in our mind. And then cost of inventory. Cost of inventory includes warehouse charges, tie-up capital. If cost is more, then low inventory is maintained. But if cost of inventory is low, then there is no problem in keeping the higher inventory. There is a direct relationship, students. Cost of inventory stock. Cost of inventory, if it is more, then you try to keep less inventory, and if its cost is less, reasonable prices are there, reasonable charges are there, so you can manage with the less inventory also. I hope the topic is clear. You understood how to decide, how to take decision regarding the physical distribution of the things and which aspects you have to keep in your mind. Well, students, that's all for today, and one last topic has left, that is promotion, that we will discuss in our next class. So keep learning all these topics and prepare notes properly.